Hello and welcome to our Belize adventure where we're going to explore conservation in Belize. So we're at the airport, we have our bags packed, and we're going to hop on a plane and head to Belize right now. And so arriving at Belize, we're going to get to Dangriga. We're going to hop on a boat and we're going to arrive at Tobacco Caye. Now, Tobacco Caye is located right on the Belize Barrier Reef. Did you guys know that just by traveling to Belize, you are contributing to conservation here in Belize through the Protected Areas Conservation Trust? The Protected Areas Conservation Trust, or PACT Belize, charges a fee for overnight visitors and even cruise ship passengers. And this conservation fee has meant that PACT has invested over $33 million Belize in protected area management and conservation initiatives here in Belize. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to head down to Tobacco Caye and we're going to explore conservation with Tobacco Caye Marine Station and some other initiatives that are happening in Belize.
Hello everybody and welcome to Tobacco Caye. We've just arrived at the Windward Lodge via their beautiful boat, and welcome to our tiny tropical paradise, a 4-acre island located right on top of the Belize Barrier Reef. Just behind me is the reef crest. That's where you can see the breakers, and that is the Belize Barrier Reef. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head over to Tobacco Caye Marine Station because we've got lots of cool stuff to show you and tell you about conservation. Very quickly, this is Delilah. She is our dog here on the island. Delilah has been here a very number of years. Still, lots of people don't really know how many, but she's been here longer than the station has. And the station was established in 2008. And right now, we are walking through Windward Lodge's property, and we have just arrived at Tobacco Caye Marine Station. So, what are we doing in terms of conservation here at Tobacco Caye Marine Station? Well, Tobacco Caye doesn't have any mains water or power. So like all the lodges on the island, we have to harvest all of our rainwater using rainwater harvesting tanks. So that means all of our fresh water has all been collected via the roofs of the buildings that you see around me. So here at the station, we have the capacity to store about 5,500 gallons of water, and that's got to get us through the whole season. Other things that we're doing here at the station is we are cultivating an island garden. And we're trying to implement different conservation techniques, such as reusing plastic bottles and just bits of PVC pipe, metal rods that wash up around the island, and we're using this to contain our oregano. We're also growing things like fever grass, which the locals are using as a local remedy for COVID. We're growing tomato out here. It loves the climate, but you can see that the leaves do often burn in the salt air. One thing that does do really well here is bell pepper, and you can see we've got a little bell pepper growing here. We're also trying to grow beetroot. This is our first year trying to grow beetroot. Passion fruit. This really loves the hot and the humidity earlier in the year. We have things like shire, and we're even trying to grow pineapple. So gardening is something that we're trying to promote more here on the island, so that people can be a little bit more self-sufficient and also provide another use for reusing food scraps. because in the blue container behind me, we compost all of our food scraps, garden waste, and that gives us a very nutrient-rich mix that allows us to keep our plants nice and healthy. And then here at the station, we are 100% powered by the use of solar power. So up on the roof up here, we have our solar panels, and we have a 24-volt solar system which powers the station. And here at Tobacco Caye Marine Station, we are doing research into 4 different areas. And I'll get a little bit more onto that in just a moment's time. But what is Tobacco Caye Marine Station? Well, Tobacco Caye Marine Station is an education and research not-for-profit. Like you saw earlier, we're located right on top of the Belize Barrier Reef. And we would normally host students from around the world. We get students from Belize, mainly from the States, and even Portsmouth University students used to come out and study with us. So hopefully we'll see you guys back out here one day very soon. And when we're not hosting groups, we do research into 4 areas. And those 4 areas are chemical water sampling, and we sample right off the dock here. We're testing for ammonia, nitrite, nitrate, pH and temperature. We also do sort of trace water sampling for chemicals such as oxybenzone and parabens to test the presence of these chemicals, which are likely to be in the water due to the use of non-reef safe sunscreen. We also do a litter collection project around Tobacco Caye and the reef crest. Now, last year we collected 24,772 individual items and around about 719 pounds of trash. So we'll talk a little bit more about our reef clean project in a future video. Another project that we're doing is we're culling the invasive lionfish, really detrimental to the health of our reef here. And again, we'll talk more about lionfish, why they're such a problem, and what are we doing here on Tobacco Caye in terms of conservation to reduce their numbers and raise awareness. And we'll again talk about that in another video. The other project that we're doing is coral bleaching and disease monitoring in association with the Coral Watch project. And this just helps us monitor the health of the coral reef, because we are located right next to a channel cut at the south side of the island, and that channel cut allows lots of nutrients between the Belize Meso Lagoon and the Caribbean Sea to flow between, and it means that we have a very biodiverse back reef. So a new aspect of research that we've just started at Tobacco Caye Marine Station only a few days ago is meteorological monitoring. We have installed a weather station, an Atlas weather monitoring station. You can see it just behind me, poking off our veranda balcony here. And this weather station is allowing us to monitor temperature, humidity, UV index, rainfall, wind direction, speed. And with this data, we are able to help fishermen understand weather forecasts, weather events, which better helps them in their day-to-day lives. It also allows us to make sure that we prepare for group arrivals correctly, and it does have an early warning system in the event of storm events. For example, the other night we had a Saharan dust cloud sweeping over from Africa, and the weather station warned us that a storm was imminent. and we actually ended up having an incredible storm with over 1,600 lightning strikes recorded from our weather station.
And getting ready, we are going to dive beneath the surface to check out the amazing underwater world of the Belize Barrier Reef. Why is it so amazing? Well, it was designated a World Heritage Site in 1996 for its incredible biodiversity. Over 500 species of fish, 70 species of hard coral, 36 species of soft coral, and 350 species of mollusk species. The Belize Barrier Reef is the longest section of the Mesoamerican Reef, which stretches for over 300 kilometers here in Belize. However, our beautiful marine life here on the Belize Barrier Reef is under threat from this, the invasive red lionfish. An invader is on the prowl. Now, lionfish are very detrimental to the health of our ecosystem here on the Belize Barrier Reef. Let's take a quick pause for thought. Why do you guys think lionfish are bad here on the Belize Barrier Reef? Pause the video, have a think, and then let's